Hi everyone. You should have your binders with you, and you should have the page PR1 from Proportionality on Unit Rates. I'm going to go over with you the notes on unit rates. Make sure you copy down everything I do, and then if you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow. We're going to first start off with the definition of unit rate. A unit rate, so you want to just write unit rate on this first line, is a rate, and remember that a rate is a ratio, with a denominator of 1. So that's all unit rate is. It's just a ratio. But what's special about it is that the denominator is 1. To find unit rate, we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. Unit rate is going to look like a fraction, and so we're going to treat it like a fraction. We're going to then divide the numerator by the denominator. Now, the first example, toilet paper is sold in cases of 36 rolls for $14.99. So those are the two numbers that we're going to compare. But you have to read the question to decide how you're going to compare them. And the question says, what is the price per roll? That's your unit rate. So I'm going to do money to rolls. Particularly, I want to know how much money is one roll. So when I set up this unit rate, this ratio, this fraction, I'm going to set it up $14.99 over 36. I'm going to divide $14.99 by 36. Now, when you do this division, you will oftentimes get a decimal going all the way across your calculator display. Do not write all of that down. You only need to write down the first 3 numbers. So when I divide this, I'm going to get 0.416, and then I'm just going to round this to 42 cents per roll. That's my unit rate, 42 per 1. That's all unit rate is. It's finding per 1. So let's look at number 2. Claire can run 100 meters in 17 seconds. All right, so there are my two numbers that I'm comparing. What is her speed in meters per second? There's my unit rate. Think of that word per as kind of your fraction line. So I'm going to do meters over seconds. Now that I know that this is my rate, I'm going to set this up 100 over 17. Now remember, whenever we have a fraction, that fraction line means to divide, which is what we're doing. We're doing 100 divided by 17. So 100 divided by 17, 5.882. Again, I only need to go 3 places. 2 next to the 8. So Claire can run 5.88 meters per second. Now, notice I used the backslash. I can use that to replace the word per, and then seconds just means 1. So each time I do this, per 1 roll, per 1 second. Okay, number 3. A 24-ounce soda costs $1.25. So there's my comparison. What is the price per ounce? There's my unit. So I'm going to do money over ounces. And you can use the abbreviation for ounces, and the abbreviation for ounces is OZ. $1.25 divided by 24. And again, I only need to write down the first 3 decimal points, or 3 numbers after the decimal point, to 2 next to the 5, which means that it is 5 cents per ounce. Now again, I'm getting these answers by dividing numerator by denominator. $1.25 divided by 24. Okay. Madeline hops 12 times, or hopped 12 times in 15 seconds. What is her speed in hops per minute? 12 times 15 seconds. That's what I'm going to compare. Now, let's be careful. Look at the question. What is her hops per minute? Well, I know that I am going to do hops over time. My original ratio here is in seconds, but the question wants minutes. So there's one thing you're going to need to know on this problem, and that is that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. But there are actually 2 ways that I could approach this problem. I still want to put 12 over 15. Now, if you know that 15 times 4 is 60, I can just create an equivalent fraction, and I would get 48 over 60, or 48 hops per 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. The other thing you can do is you could do 12 divided by 15, and 12 divided by 15 is going to be 0.8, and then 0.8 times 60, because there are 60 seconds in a minute, will give me 48. So 48 hops per minute. And all I did was just change that 60 seconds into a minute. So be careful when you're doing these problems and make sure that you are expressing your answer in the unit that they ask. Elijah can read 75 words per minute. What is his speed in words per second? Okay, here again, notice I want words, and I want to compare the words to time. But my comparison is minutes, but I want my answer in seconds. Here again, I'm going to go back up here. 60 seconds equals 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up 75 over 60, because I need to change that minute to seconds. Go through and divide. 75 divided by 60 is going to give me 1.25. He can read 1.25 words per second. Okay. Number 6. Carter can swim 25 yards of freestyle in 19 seconds. What is his speed in yards per second? So again, yards over seconds, and they use seconds on both, so I'll just use seconds there. 25 over 19, divide 25 by 19, write 3 decimal places, so 5 next to the 1, so I'm going to round that to 1.32 yards per second. Now, notice number 7 is a little bit different. On number 7, I just want you to change his rate in seconds to yards per minute. And again, I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, so all I have to do is take that 1.32 times 60. That gives me 79.2, or 79.2 yards per minute. Okay? Now, that's unit rate. Make sure you fill in your Google form. If you have any questions, make sure you write down your questions and bring those to class with you.